Hey there, class. Mr. Prusky here. Hope you're having a good day so far. We're continuing with Chapter 6, which is about polynomials, and today's section is 6.5, Day 1. The name of this lesson is Dividing Polynomials. So our essential question for today is how do we divide polynomials? So if you recall in the past, we did stuff like, so if you had, for example, x plus 3 times 2x squared minus 7x plus 2, right? And you would distribute this, you would, do the distribution thing to all of these. We're kind of going the opposite direction now. Instead of multiplying, we're going to be dividing polynomials, okay? So we're going to kind of go, we're taking what's distributed and kind of going the opposite direction, all right? So let's go ahead and get right into it here. So polynomial long division is similar to long division process you already know, but what's new is we're going to need placeholders like synthetic substitution, okay? And it can be used for polynomials. Okay, give me one sec. All right. So why don't we review? This is actually going way back to elementary school with long division. It's kind of a similar process. There's a little bit different, a little bit more complex, but the same principles kind of apply. So let's go ahead and see if we can remember how to do long division. So if I want to divide 153 divided by 4, remember what's being divided is underneath the bar here, and what we're dividing by, so this is called the dividend, and this is called the divisor, okay? Dividend and divisor. Dividend is what we're dividing, divisor is what we're dividing by, okay? You're not going to see those lines anymore, but that's okay. All right, so first thing we want to do is see if 4 can go into 1. Can 4 go into 1 at all, or no? It cannot. So then what we do is we go look at the next number, we bring the next number down, so we look at 15. Can 4 go into 15? The answer is yes. How many times? 3. So 15 divided by 4 is going to be 3, and there's going to be some remainder left over. So it's not going to divide perfectly. If it were dividing by 5, it would be 5 times 3 would be perfect, but in this case it's not. So what we're going to do is after we figure out how many times this divisor goes into 4, goes into 15, we're going to multiply those two things together. So 4 times 3 is what? It is 12. So I'm going to subtract 12. And I multiply 4 times 3 to get 12. And I'm going to subtract this now, right? What is 15 minus 12? Well, that is 3, right? Okay, good. And 4 doesn't go into 3, but even so, we want to bring down the next number. That's the next step after we figure out, what goes into the first two numbers, we bring down the next number after we subtract, okay? And then, I bring down 33 is going to be right here. So now we need to see how many times 4 goes into 33. What's 33 divided by 4? How many times does 4 go into 33? Well, let's see here. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 9 is 36. So it's not 9. 36 is too high, so it's got to be 8 is the biggest number that goes into 33. And what is 8 times 4? That is 32. So we're going to subtract 32. And what is 33 minus 32? Well, that is 1. So what happens now? Okay, this is kind of important for the long division process for polynomials. Our answer is what's up here, which is 38. So our answer is 38, but we have a remainder of 1. This is a remainder. It's what's remaining, okay? So the way we write the remainder is we take the remainder and we divide by the divisor, which in this case was 4. So we're going to write 38 and 1/4. So 4 goes into 153 exactly 38 and 1/4 times. And that is going to be our answer. All right? So you always write your remainder, you take that and you put it over the divisor, what you're dividing by. And that's going to be your final, that's going to be your remainder. All right, ready to make it more challenging now? Of course you are. Let's get right into it here. So we are dividing, looks like for number 1 here, we have 2x squared plus 13x minus 7 divided by x plus 6. Okay, well, we're going to set up our, it's kind of written backwards here. So we're going to put x plus 6 in front here. That's what we're dividing by. That's our divisor. And then our dividend is going to go underneath, which is 2x squared plus 13x minus 7. Okay, so now, this one's a little bit different. We are going to see how many times x goes into 2x squared. But the way you kind of do this first is you're going to take the first term and divide it by the first term of the divisor. The first term of the dividend, which is 2x squared, and divide it by the first term of the divisor, which is x. So what is 2x squared divided by x going to be? Hopefully you said 2x. And then what we got to be careful about, we're not going to put 2x right here because that's lined up over the it's lined up over the x squared. I mean, actually, you're not going to see this, but we're going to put the x over the correct degree. So you can see we have 13x. We're going to put 2x above that because that's also an x term. It's not an x squared. It's not a constant. So 2x is going to go right there. The next thing we do is we're going to, like we were doing before, we're going to multiply 2x times x plus 6. So I'm going to multiply this. I mean, I can't show you every time here. We're going to multiply 2x by x plus 6, kind of like we did up here. We multiplied, for example, let me use a different color. We multiplied 3 times 4 to get 12. All right, so we're doing the same kind of thing in this case, but now we're doing it with 2x times x plus 6. Okay, so let's get right into it here. So what is 2x times x? Well, that is 2x squared. And what is 2x times positive 6? Well, that is 12x plus 12x. Then we close parentheses. After we're done multiplying by everything in the divisor, we close the parentheses. Now we're going to subtract. And we got to be careful when we're subtracting, okay? Because it's like you have to distribute that negative to everything in the parentheses here. So we have 2x squared minus 2x squared is going to be 0. What is 13 minus 12x? It's minus positive 12x, so that's going to be 1x. Okay. Now, what was the last step we did after we figured out what it's subtracted to? So after we subtracted, let's use a different color here. After we subtracted the 12, we got this. What did we do next? Well, we brought down the next number, which is 3. Okay? So we're going to do the same kind of thing right here, except we're going to bring down the negative 7. So we're going to bring down the negative 7. Okay. Now, what we need to do is we need to divide, we're going to divide the first term here. We're going to divide 1x by, so we do the same thing we did before, but now we're going to be starting over basically. So we're going to divide 1x, we're going to divide by x, right? Okay, just like before. So 1x divided by x is going to be just 1. So we're going to put a plus 1 right here. So that's the next step after you subtract is you start over and you divide the first term in the dividend divided by the first term in the denominator. What you're dividing by, no, what you're dividing by, okay? The dividend is what you're dividing, and then the divisor is what you're dividing by. So we divide 1x divided by x, we're going to get plus 1. Then we need to multiply 1 by this entire thing over here, the x plus 6, okay? So we're going to put minus, and now we gotta subtract this. We're going to multiply 1 times x is going to be 1x. 1 times 6 is going to be positive 6. All right, now we subtract. So what's 1x minus 1x? Well, that is 0. What is negative 7 minus 6? That is negative 13. Be careful, it is not negative 1. It is negative 6, 7 minus 6, which is negative 13. So this is our remainder. I'm going to circle our remainder. But our answer is up here. This is our answer, what it divides into evenly. It divides into that evenly, but negative 13 is our remainder. So the way we write this is we write 2x plus 1, and we write a remainder of, remember we take the remainder and we divide by the divisor over here. Let's use a different color actually. We're going to take the remainder and we're going to divide by the x plus 6. So that's going to be negative 13. Divided by x plus 6. Another way you could write this if you wanted to is you could write 2x plus 1. Let's do minus actually. Minus 13 over x plus 6. That's another way you could write it if you wanted to. Okay? But I like to stick with this top one up here. All right. So that is how we divide polynomials. It's the same process. It's just a little bit more complicated. It might be a little bit more to look at, but it's the same process. Okay, let's do number 2 now. Number 2 is going to be similar. But one thing we got to be careful about with number 2 is we need a placeholder for x cubed. You see how there's no x cubed? So let me read the problem here. We have x to the 4th plus 2x squared minus x plus 5 divided by x squared minus x plus 1. So you can see there's no x cubed term here, right? So we have to add an x cubed term when we actually divide this, all right? So we're going to set up our problem. So we're going to do x squared minus x plus 1. Let's move that up a little bit, actually. X squared minus x plus 1 divided by, I'm going to make a nice long bar here. We have x to the fourth. There is no x to the third term, so we're going to put plus 0x to the third plus 2x squared minus x plus 5. Okay. If you want to try to pause the video and see if you can do this one, try to look at the last example and see if you can give it a try. Otherwise, we're going to go through it in a second. See if you can give it a try, otherwise just stick around. Okay, so if you recall, the first thing we need to do is we need to divide the first term of the dividend divided by the first term of the divisor. So what is x to the fourth divided by x squared? Well, that is x squared. We're going to put x squared over by the x squareds. We're going to put it above the 2x squareds where the x squareds are. Then we need to subtract. We're going to multiply x squared by all the terms in the divisor over there. We're going to multiply x squared times negative x and times positive 1. So what is x squared times x squared? Well, that's x to the fourth. X squared times negative x is negative 1x to the third. And then we have x squared times 1 is plus x squared. Okay, then we're going to put a line underneath. We're going to add straight down. So x squared x to the fourth minus x to the fourth is 0. 0x to the third minus negative 1x to the third. Be careful here. It's minus a negative 1x to the third. It's going to be plus x to the third, 1x to the third. And then we have 2x squared minus 1x squared. I'm going to put a 1 here, actually. Minus 1x squared. So that's going to be 2 minus 1 is going to be 1x squared. Okay. And then we need to bring down the next term. That's what we do next. Bring down the negative x. I'm going to put minus 1x right here. Okay. So now we go back to the beginning. We're going to take the first term. We're going to take the first term of 1x squared, and we're going to divide by the first term of the divisor. So what is 1x to the third divided by x squared? Well, that's going to be just plus 1x. All right. Now we need to multiply x by everything in the divisor. Everything, we're going to multiply x squared, negative x, and positive 1. So we're going to do subtraction. What is x times x squared? Well, that is 1x to the third. What is x times negative x? Well, that is negative 1x squared. And what is x times positive 1? Well, that's plus 1x. And we need to subtract straight down. 1x squared minus 1x cubed, 1x cubed minus 1x cubed is 0. 1x squared minus negative 1x squared is actually 2x squared. Be careful. It's minus a negative 1. And then we have negative 1x minus 1x is going to be negative 2x. Next, we need to bring down the 5. So we're going to do plus 5 right here. All right, so again, same thing, but we're going to divide the first term of the dividend by the first term of the divisor again. So we have, what is 2x squared divided by x squared? Well, that is positive 2. Oops, wrong color. Positive 2. And then we need to subtract and multiply 2 times all the terms over there, x squared, negative x, and positive 1 again. So 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times negative x is negative 2x. And 2 times 1 is positive 2. All right. Now we need to subtract straight down. So 2x squared minus 2x squared is going to be 0. Negative 2x minus a negative 2x is plus 2x, so it's going to be plus 0 again. And 5 minus 2 is going to be 3. So this is our remainder, but our answer is what's above here. This is our answer. This is what divides evenly, and our remainder is going to be what's going to be over here, okay? So our answer is going to be x squared plus x plus 2. And a remainder of, remember, you take the 3, which is the remainder, and put it over the divisor, which is going to be x squared minus x plus 1. And that's going to be our answer. All right. A lot to look at, but it is a pretty consistent process once you get the hang of it. All right, we've got 2 more examples to do today. Let's keep moving along here. Synthetic division is going to be the same as synthetic substitution. Synthetic division is going to be the same as synthetic substitution, all right? It can only be used, so this is actually, I like this process a lot easier. I feel it's a lot easier to use, but it can only be used when the divisor, what you're dividing by, is in the form x minus k. So you can't have, for example, up here we were dividing by this over here, this x squared minus x plus 1. You can't do that. It needs to be like something like x plus 6 or x minus 2 like we have down here, okay, for 1 and 2. The k value is what goes out in front for synthetic division. Remember, the k value is always going to be, the k value always needs to be opposite. K value always needs to be opposite for this to work. But it is a pretty cool process once we get it. It's going to be a lot easier than long division, but long division you may have to use if you don't have the right divisor, basically. All right, let's get right into it here. So we have 2x squared plus 13x minus 7 divided by x plus 6. So k is the opposite of this number right here. Well, what's that number right there? It's a 6, so the opposite of 6 is going to be negative 6. So if you recall, synthetic substitution, we put negative 6 right here. We go like this. We put the coefficients to the right of this. So the coefficients of 2x squared is 2. Then we have 13 is what's in front of the x. Then we have negative 7. We put a line underneath here, saving space for some numbers. Okay? And the first thing we do, if you remember, is we're going to bring down the 2. It's the very first thing we do is always bring down the first number, which is 2. Then the next thing we do is we multiply negative 6 times positive 2, and that's going to go up here. So negative 6 times positive 2 is negative 12. Then we're going to add straight down. So what is 13 minus 12? Well, that's going to be 1. I'll slow down for a second here. Then again, we multiply negative 6 times positive 1. That's going to go up here. Negative 6 times positive 1 is negative 6. And negative 6, we add straight down. Then negative 7 minus negative 7 minus 6 is negative 13. So this is our remainder right here. This is not our answer. This is our remainder. Our answer is going to be, this one's a little tricky to kind of figure out what the answer is going to be. But the way it goes by degree. So this is 0 degree, which is constants. This is first degree, and then it would go second degree, and then it would go et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, based on how many things here. But the first, so we kind of have to work our way backwards a little bit. So the answer, it looks like it would be, because 2 is with the x squared, that this would be 2x squared plus x or something, but it is not the case. In this case, our answer is going to be 1 is our constant. So we have 1 as our constant, and then we're going to add 1, and then our answer is going to be, the next degree up from 0 is first degree, so that's going to be 2x. So that's the way you read this final answer down here, this 2 and 1. It's going to be 1 is the constant, and then 2x, and then if you had another term to the left of that, it would be like, if you had a 4 over here, it would be, it'd be 4x squared. So that's kind of how it works. We don't have that for this one, but so we have 2x plus 1, and then our remainder is going to be, we're going to put the negative 13, and we put it over the divisor. In this case, you got to be careful. The divisor is not negative 6. It is x plus 6, which is up there. It's x plus 6. So this is our final answer. So this, I'm going to put remainder right here. Okay, so the remainder is the final number, but the answer is what's on the bottom to the left of the remainder. Okay? All right. One thing we need to be careful of for number 2 is we have x to the third plus 5x minus 4 is divided by x minus 2. We're going to do the same thing, but we need to make sure we have a placeholder. So what we're going to write in here is need placeholder for what a degree is missing there. We have x to the third, we have 5x, we have 4. What degree is missing there? We need a placeholder for 0x squared, okay? Because there's no x squared term there. That's the only way it's going to work here. What's our k value going to be? Well, if it's negative, it's the opposite of this number, so opposite of negative 2 is going to be positive 2, all right? I'll leave this zoomed out a little bit here. See if you can try this next example on your own, see how you do, and then otherwise just stick around. We'll go over it in a second. Okay, so we have 2 as our k. Let me zoom in a little bit. So we have 2 as our k. And then we got to put our coefficients. So what's in front of x to the third is a 1. Then we had 0 for x squared. We had 5 for x. And we had negative 4 for our constant. We put a line underneath here with the room for some numbers. First thing we do is bring down the 1. So the 1 goes down here. Then we multiply 2 times 1. What is 2 times 1? That's going to go up here. 2 times 1 is 2. Then we add straight down. 0 times 2 is 2. Then we're going to multiply. 2 times 2 is 4. Add straight down, 5 plus 4 is 9. Then we do 2 times 9, that's going to go up here, which is 18. And negative 4 plus 18 is 14. So this is our remainder, and this is our answer right here. Okay? So we got to reconstruct this backwards a little bit. So our answer is going to be 9 is the constant, 2x is the first degree, and then x squared is the second degree. And our remainder, again, we put the 14, the remainder over the divisor, in this case was x minus 2, was the original divisor. And there's our answer. Okay, and that is all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. We will talk soon.